Mia Charlotte had a laugh that filled rooms. Warm brown eyes, a dimple on her left cheek, and the kind of quiet radiance people noticed without knowing why. On campus, she was beloved, not for spectacle, but for realness. And she had Adam Smith. Adam was not rich. He did not drive a car. His shoes were clean but worn at the sole, and his phone had a cracked screen he kept meaning to fix. What Adam had instead was depth. He was brilliant, the kind of student professors quoted back to other students. He was tender, the kind of man who remembered how Mia liked her tea and left handwritten notes under her door before exams. He loved her without condition, without performance. "You don't need to be anyone else around me," he once told her, walking her home under a bruised evening sky. She'd squeezed his hand and believed him. Her roommate, Paisley Eliana, watched it all with quiet approval. Paisley was sharp-eyed and elegant, the type who saw people clearly. She adored Adam. She told Mia often, "That man is rare, Mia. Don't confuse rare for ordinary just because it doesn't come with noise." He appeared on a Tuesday. Leonard Voss, tall, effortlessly dressed, driving a pearl-white sports car that turned every head on campus. He was Gen Z money made visible, designer everything, a roster of friends who existed only to witness him, and a smile that suggested he always got what he wanted. He saw Mia outside the faculty building and decided, the way rich boys decide things, that he wanted her. He was patient at first. Texts that felt like invitations. A dinner at a restaurant where the menu had no prices. Flowers delivered to her dorm that cost more than Adam's monthly allowance. He took her on drives with the windows down and the city glittering below them, and Mia felt something she hadn't felt before. The dizzy rush of being chosen by someone the whole world seemed to be watching. Paisley saw it coming like weather. "He's performing, Mia. He's not loving you. There's a difference." But the restaurants were real. The gifts were real. The car rides were intoxicating. And so Mia made the worst decision of her life on a quiet Wednesday evening. She called Adam and ended things. She gave him no real reason. She simply said it wasn't working. She heard the silence on the other end of the phone before he said, softly, "Okay." No scene. No begging. Just quiet devastation. The way good men are broken. Mia changed. She moved through campus differently, designer bags, new hair, a social media feed full of restaurants and rooftops. Leonard's World was a glossy magazine, and she had stepped inside it. She was the girl people whispered about now, the girl Leonard Voss was seen with. Paisley watched, said little, and waited. Adam graduated quietly and disappeared from campus the way kind people often do, without drama, without making anyone feel guilty for not noticing sooner. Leonard and Mia burned bright for 2 years after graduation. She followed his life like a satellite follows its planet, his schedule, his friends, his moods. She told herself this was love. She told herself the occasional coldness was stress. She told herself she was happy. Then she found out she was pregnant. She called Leonard trembling with something she thought might be joy. He went quiet in a way she recognized. It was the same quiet as when a bill arrived he hadn't planned for. He told her it wasn't a good time. He told her he wasn't ready. He stopped taking her calls within the week. His last message was 4 words, "I need space now." She sat on the bathroom floor for a long time. Outside her window, the city continued, indifferent and bright. What Mia did not know, what she could not have known in her gilded haze, was that life had been quietly arranging things in her absence. Paisley had taken a position at a consulting firm after graduation. Adam, brilliant and steady as ever, had built himself into someone formidable, a rising analyst whose name was beginning to matter in rooms that mattered. They had crossed paths at an industry event, recognized each other, and shared a coffee that lasted 3 hours. Adam had healed. Not hardened, healed. The crack Mia left in him had been filled not with bitterness, but with clarity. Paisley had always admired him, and now she saw him fully, a man who loved quietly and deeply, who built things that lasted. By the time Leonard sent Mia his forward goodbye, Adam and Paisley had been together for 7 months. The conference was titled Future Leaders in Business and Innovation, the kind of event where name tags determine seating. It was held at the Grand Meridian Convention Center, all marble floors and soaring ceilings. Mia was there early. She was always there early now because she was on the cleaning staff. Life had rearranged itself with ruthless efficiency. Leonard was gone. The designer bags were sold. The baby, a boy she'd named Eli, slept in the spare room of a modest flat she was slowly learning to call home. The cleaning work paid. It wasn't glamorous. Some mornings, she told herself it was temporary. Other mornings, she simply pushed the cart down the corridor and got on with it. She was polishing the far end of the main auditorium stage when she heard voices she recognized. Adam walked in first, suited, composed, a conference lanyard around his neck that read speaker. He was gesturing thoughtfully as he spoke to a colleague. Behind him, laughing at something, was Paisley, luminous in a cream blazer, her badge-reading panelist. Mia's hand stilled on the cloth. She stood in her uniform, pale blue with the hotel logo on the chest, and watched the 2 people she had once stood closest to walk through the same room as if the world had always been theirs to stand in. It was Paisley who saw her first. A flicker of recognition, then something more complicated. Not cruelty, not triumph. Just the particular sadness of watching a chapter you couldn't rewrite. She walked over.
Mia.
Paisley. Mia smiled, and it cost her something. You look wonderful. So do you. It was a lie and a kindness both, and they both knew it. Adam paused at the edge of their exchange. He looked at Mia the way people look at places they once lived, recognition, distance, a ghost of feeling. He nodded once.
Mia. Good to see you.
No warmth, no coldness. Just peace. He returned to his colleagues. Paisley lingered a moment longer, then said quietly, I hope you're okay. I mean that. Then she turned and walked toward the stage where she belonged. Mia picked up her cloth and finished polishing the floor. She did it slowly and carefully, the way she was now learning to do everything, without shortcuts, without glitter, without anyone else's shine to borrow. When the auditorium filled and the lights came up and Adam's voice came through the microphone, steady, assured, the voice of a man who had built himself from the ground, she listened for a moment from the corridor. Then she pushed her cart toward the next hall and kept going. She was not yet whole.
But she was honest now.
And for the first time in years, what she was building was actually hers.